Small talk is the reason you feel awkward in conversations. Not because you're bad at talking, because small talk was never built to go anywhere. Think about the last time you left a conversation and felt nothing. Not bad, not good, just flat. You both said we should hang out again, and you both knew you probably wouldn't. That wasn't because you're boring, it's because you never left the runway. And most people's fix for this is completely wrong. They think they need better stories, a funnier personality, more interesting things to say. But watch the people who actually pull others in. They're rarely saying the most interesting things in the room. They know how to listen, how to respond, and where to take a conversation next. That's what mastering the art of conversation actually means. Not more charisma, not more topics. 3 specific moves, and once you see them, you can't unsee them in every good conversation you've ever had. Here they are. Step 1. Escape the small talk trap. Small talk isn't the enemy, it's just a runway. The problem is when people never take off. Notice something strange about small talk. It doesn't fail because it's dull. It fails because it's doing exactly what it was designed to do. Your brain uses small talk to check for danger. Is this person safe? Are we on the same page? Can I relax around them? Once your nervous system gets its answer, it stops looking for more, which means the very thing that makes small talk feel safe is the same thing that makes it feel dead. So the fix was never to skip it. It's to use it as a launch pad right at the moment safety has been confirmed and boredom is about to set in. Watch how small this shift is. Say you're the one asking. Most people default to, "So, what do you do?" It's a fair question, but it usually gets you a job title and dead air because a job title requires no vulnerability to say out loud. Instead, ask the version of the question that does. How did you end up doing that? Or is it what you expected it would be? Same topic, completely different conversation. Or say you'd normally ask, "Where are you from?" Don't stop at the city name, push one layer further. What was it like growing up there? A city name requires no memory. Growing up there requires one. In the moment someone has to reach into memory instead of reciting a fact, something in them switches on. That's the whole secret hiding inside step 1. Humans don't feel connected to facts. We feel connected to whoever's willing to go looking for the feeling underneath them. So every time you turn a what into a why, you're asking a question that requires them to actually show up. But escaping small talk is only the first move, because once you're off the runway, most people still don't know which direction to fly. That's step 2. Step 2. Move into meaningful conversation. Here's the shift that changes everything. Stop talking like a stranger, start talking like a friend. Watch 2 strangers talk. Notice how careful they are. They ask the safest possible question and wait patiently for the safest possible answer. Now watch 2 close friends. The conversation doesn't move in a straight line at all. They bounce, they interrupt, they circle back to something from 10 minutes ago. They joke, then go deep, then go light again. It's loose, it's alive, and none of that looseness is about what they're saying. It's the energy underneath it. So here's your job in any conversation. Mentally decide right now that you already know this person a little. Loosen your shoulders, let the conversation wander instead of interrogating them one boring question at a time. But there's a second layer here, and almost nobody talks about it. Talking like a friend isn't just a mindset, it's a discipline of noticing. Because somewhere in every conversation, a small door opens and most people walk straight past it. Watch their face and their energy. Do they suddenly light up? Do they start talking faster? Do more words start coming out than before? That's not a coincidence. That's their nervous system doing something it can't fake, leaning towards whatever just became emotionally important to them. Most people miss this completely and keep moving the conversation along like nothing happened. Don't be most people. When you see that spark, stop, go towards it. Ask, "Wait, what do you mean?" Or, "Okay, what was that like?" It feels backwards, but boredom was never really about the topic. Small talk calms the nervous system down. Emotion wakes it back up. Every genuinely great conversation you've ever had was better because someone followed a spark, not because of what was being discussed. So step 2, in one sentence, loosen up, talk like a friend, and every time you spot a flicker of real emotion, follow it instead of walking past it. That flicker is your invitation into step 3, and this is where the real connection actually gets built. Step 3, dig for stories and listen like it actually matters. Here's something almost nobody realizes. We don't actually connect over information. We connect over stories. Think about the last time a friend came back from an incredible trip. They didn't hand you a summary, they told you the story, what happened, how they felt, the moment it almost went wrong. And you probably didn't just listen, you leaned in, because somewhere in the telling of it, you started living it with them. So once you've found that emotional spark from step 2, your next move is simple. Ask for the story, not the summary. Tell me what happened. Take me back to that moment. Small phrases like these give someone permission to stop reporting their life and start actually handing it to you. But here's the part that quietly decides whether any of this works: how you listen once they start talking. Most people think good listening means staying quiet and nodding politely. Watch what that actually feels like from the other side. It doesn't feel like being listened to. It feels like being waited on. And people can sense that difference almost instantly. Real engaged listening feels nothing like waiting. It sounds like the small involuntary "wait, really?" or "no way" that slips out before you've even decided to say anything. It shows up on your face before you're aware of it. A wince at the painful part, wide eyes at the shocking one, because your face is having the conversation alongside your ears. And it shows up in follow-up questions that could only come from someone actually tracking the story. Wait, what did you do right after that? Were you scared in that moment? And underneath all of it is something almost embarrassingly simple: engaging with their story the way a child does. Kids don't sit still for a story. They gasp, they laugh, they ask, then what happened? They practically climb inside it with you. That full body reaction is what makes someone feel like their story actually landed, like it mattered. Here's the quiet payoff nobody mentions. When you listen like this, the other person doesn't just feel heard. They start telling better stories. They open up more. They relax because the pressure to perform just disappeared. Some of the most magnetic people you'll ever meet aren't the best talkers in the room, they're the best listeners in it. People leave conversations with them thinking, wow, I was actually really interesting today. That was never an accident. That was someone else's listening, doing exactly what it was built to do. Bringing it all together. So here's the full arc. Escape small talk by turning boring questions into emotional ones. Move into meaningful conversation by talking like a friend and following the sparks of real emotion when you see them. And once you find that spark, dig for the story and listen like it actually matters, with your voice, your face, your follow-up questions, and your full attention. Master those 3 steps and you will never again walk away from a conversation feeling like nothing happened. Because people don't remember the small talk, they remember the moment they felt truly heard and truly understood. Now, I want to hear from you. What's one thing you're going to try in your very next conversation? Tell me in the comments. I genuinely want to know. And if you struggle with small talk specifically, like you freeze up before you even get the chance to use any of this, I made a video just for you: the secret to better questions, even if you're bad at small talk. Watch that one next. I'm Sam, and I'll be reading every single one of your comments. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more videos that will help you become better every day.